Well, oh fuck! I didn't. We're gonna have to go into the con room real quick. But welcome, cause I need to do something. There you go. Now that should pop up the right way. I forgot that it's laced to that. He needs to get in here. There we go. I forgot that the stream only shows the screen if we're in this room. But welcome to a little special session we're doing.
Nice job, Tyler.
Yes. Well, you know, we're doing a little special session real quick to kind of bring in Brice's character's facts into the story because the first session didn't really happen because uh, nobody has any video evidence that we did that recording because it didn't get saved. But um, where we left
Can
off
you
last
hear
time,
me? Am I reverbing?
you're a little
Can
loud.
you can you hear yourself?
No, I
Okay,
cannot.
cool.
All right. So on that note, I will just jump. We're gonna jump right into it because I don't have much for tonight. This is gonna be a very short session, as I've been telling Brice, and anyone who shows up will know. Will find that out as well. It looks like it hasn't done the announcement yet, but we will get that up in a minute. But all right, to start off, uh, let's introduce your character again because everyone else did theirs last time. Um, just kind of what your character looks like again.
So my character is a Goliath, fairly tall. I don't think I actually did any like height or anything. He's medium size. His eyes are milky white. His skin is dark gray. It's a male. He has a single white long braid coming from the top of his head. Um, he's 19, and then he has a uh, a symbol that wraps up and down his right arm that glows a ghostly white.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll jump right into this then. All right. So, you find yourself standing in the snow, staring out into the blizzard that surrounds you. The cold air bites at your skin and shifts your armor and clothing, yet affects you little as you are raised in these storms. As you look around at the seemingly endless field of snow, you hear a growl coming from somewhere ahead, hidden away from your sight by the snow. And then a single eye opens, its yellow rims cutting through the wall of white that impairs your sight. Man, that rhymed. Didn't mean for that to happen. Followed by a single harsh, interesting, before you wake with a start. You find yourself now in the woods. Or not the woods. You are in the grassland. You are leaned up against a large boulder in the middle of a clearing, surrounded by tall grass. Upon looking around, once you've woken up and kind of got your bearings on where you are, you see that there is blood in the dirt around you. Um, and you have a little bit on yourself as well. A little bit on your hands, some on your chest, a little on your face. But it's not yours. You can tell that much.
Hmm.
Your memory is a bit hazy of the day before. You don't. Some details seem to have faded. Others seem you have new details of things that you didn't think happened, but you remember them happening now. And now you are just standing there in this clearing, and you have no memory on how you got here. The last thing you remember was talking to your patron or your god before waking up here.
Hmm.
Um, do you have anything you? Oh, yeah. You have anything you want to do?
I'm gonna look around for Barris, my beholder.
Okay, so you, it's not hard to find him. He's not very far by. He's actually sitting on the rock, um, and it's about probably about an hour after sunrise by this point. You
Hmm.
find him, and as you reach to get him, you notice on your hand, a on your wrist actually, just below your hand, you see a symbol. Kind of looks like a representation of wolf's teeth, uh, almost branded into your skin,
Hmm.
and it brings back thoughts of the dagger you found. Uh, and upon looking for said dagger, you cannot find it.
Hmm.
It seems to have vanished.
Okay. Sorry, this is all happening so fast. Uh, Can I roll like I guess a nature handling to see what type of blood, or not nature handling, like a nature check to see like what type of blood it is, like what animal it would have come from or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Bruh, nat 20 to start off. Let's go.
All right. You're familiar with the. Oh, I'm gonna say not 100% the taste, but you kind of have an idea of this was some sort of game type animal. So like it could have been a rabbit or a deer or something.
Okay.
The thought of why that blood is all over your on your face, you're used to it getting on your hands and your chest when you know, tear something apart and then proceed to like get pieces to cook. Um, but you're not used to it around your face.
Gotcha.
And around this time, as you're contemplating this, you hear the same voice from the vision, say, "What's the matter? Your mind seems confused. Something's not adding up. Hours, hours of walking and hunting forgotten, lost within the archives of your mind. Perhaps I can be of assistance." And you
Is
don't
this
know.
is this like a familiar voice, like something I would know, or
You've heard this voice on two occasions now. In the vision you just had, and when you picked up the knife.
gotcha. Okay. Um, in what ways will you help me?
It kind of sits quiet. It's quiet for a moment and says, "I could fill in a few gaps, perhaps. You did have an interesting night, I will say that."
Continue. Elaborate.
Well, when you faded, I guess you would say, instead of going back to see your little friends, you decided to run off into the grass. I watched as you killed several small creatures and ate them on the spot. It's quite an interesting sight for me.
It seems I must have been under a spell or something not of my own volition.
Maybe instinct. Who could tell?
I'm going to sorry, I just unplugged something. Damn it. Just ruined the immersion for a second.
On you broke RP in my fantasy game?
Alright, speak.
No. So yeah, he's finished talking.
Speak one more time.
I'm still talking.
Why can't I hear you? Hold on.
You can't hear me now. Great. Can you hear me now? Hello.
Hold.
This is fun. My immersion, it's gone forever.
Hold on.
Oh boy. See, around this point, the party would have been on the road, probably some distance ahead of him by this point. Yes. Okay.
Fuck.
And he's gone, and he's back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Dear Lord. He unplugged something, and now things gone downhill. Alright. This is just.
Well, I can figure this out.
Can you hear me?
Alright. Yeah.
Okay. It's about to message you on like a way to fix it or check to fix it. Alright. So he just finished saying. He just finished talking.
Okay, continue.
Yes, he finished talking. You have a chance to react.
Okay, let's see. I just asked if I was under a spell or of my own
He
volition
said
or something,
instinct, perhaps.
and perhaps instinct. And I'm
Yes.
going to, I say instinct, and I'm gonna pick up Barris and be like, "Did I seem different to you?"
Uh, Barris seems confused by this question. He's not. It seems that he doesn't remember last night either,
Huh.
based on how he's reacting. And around that point, when you're thinking of Barris and what happened the night before, you remember the party saying that they are going to be traveling to Grandhelm, which you now probably assume they've gone without you,
Mm-hmm.
considering it's a decent amount of time after the point where they would have left.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an idea of the way down to Grandhelm, so you could walk there if you wanted to. Um, you would have to go on foot all the way, but it would, and it would probably take you about 2 days, and you would get there at the end of the second day.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice hasn't said anything else. They've gone quiet.
I say, well, you seem to have been connected to that blade, and seeing as this symbol is representative of that blade, what exactly are you?
Oh, I'm something very special. Something unlike anything you've seen. And I've been called many things over the years. There's two names I've become fond of, though. There was one, a knight, who had gotten a hold of me, who called me Gambit during that time, and another bardic woman who had called me Azazel, representing one of the
God,
demons of the demonic realm. I will
I
allow you to.
missed.
Hmm?
Oh,
He said,
I
I will
must.
allow you to call me either.
So Gambit, or what was the other one?
Azazel.
Azazel. Okay.
Azazel, Azazel.
If you're gonna use the name, use it right now. um. Hmm. Well, Azazel, you gotta be something really special to look at because I've seen gods.
Ah, gods have nothing on what I have. And you get this intense feeling of something watching you really closely. And upon looking around, you see nothing. And upon you doing this, he then says, there's no point in looking around for me. You won't find me. Not that way. And there's a slight cackling for just a moment before he falls quiet.
I'm gonna whisper to myself, Sarvoth, have you any thoughts?
There's no reply.
Damn it.
She seems quiet. Even the whispering has stopped. Like the whispering you normally have around you, your head is silent, other than this voice.
Hmm. Damn, bro, I wish this was real life. Tinnitus ain't no joke. Um. Fuck. Okay. Well, you have my attention. What do you seek from me?
It sits quietly for a second. You hear a couple of like, and it's like kind of debating, and it goes, "We'll see. I don't know yet. You found me, anyway. So while I'm here, I'll find something that I want to do."
Uh, can I try using divine sense?
What does that do?
Uh, As an action, you can detect good or evil. Until the end of your turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow Spirit or by the Hallow spell or another location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Can you sense them or see them?
Sense them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can do that. So upon you doing this, you feel a fiendish presence, but it's pretty much on top of you. Like the aura of this fiend is around you. Um, but does it tell alignment this ability,
Uh,
or only good and evil?
Good and evil.
Okay, you're not getting any sense of alignment, so it seems to be neutral.
Neutral.
Um,
Okay.
so you, but it is this fiendish presence is just encapsulating you.
Hmm.
And upon doing
Well,
this as well as you're sensing this fiendish presence, your mind slips right back to when you saw that eye open and looking
hmm.
deep into the yellow rims of that malicious looking eye and getting a sense of a large, sinister grin that was with it that you couldn't see.
Gotcha. Well, if you intend on tagging along with me, so be it. But I must continue my journey to Grandhelm.
It just replies, I'd have it no other way. And it falls silent. Or you
I
just
guess I'll start walking towards Grandhelm.
okay. You you're
Actually, you know
getting
what? To test it, I'm gonna walk in the opposite direction.
so it's not you when you start doing this, it doesn't say anything.
Oh, well,
You realize this was your goal, not its.
gotcha. All right, yeah, I'll just start walking towards Grandhelm.
Yep. So you start your journey down south, and based on kind of where you realize you are, you're not really near one of the roads, but you know it's
Mm-hmm.
a straight southern shot. So you're going straight. And as you travel, you do hear roaring in the distance every so often. It's very far from you, but you do hear these roars of the grasslands, and you know there are some pretty big creatures living in this area.
Are
Uh,
there any trees or anything that I can climb up?
there are no trees. It is grass,
Fuck.
and the grass varies between ankle high and like shoulder and head height. So
Shoulder and
like
head height, dude. I'm a fucking Goliath.
there's some tall grass out here.
Damn.
Like in some places you can see perfectly. Other places
Gotcha.
it's like blocked. It just depends on where the grass is growing, and it's a little hilly, so there are a few hills, so there are some things blocking
Mm-hmm.
you from seeing. Uh,
Gotcha.
yeah. So you get through the first day pretty quick, and I'm actually just going straight off what I planned to notes. So we'll probably actually finish this. This will probably be maybe an hour at most, um, and this is really just filler. So you get, you know, you're about halfway as the sun hits the horizon. Um, you gonna try to push on, or do you want to make camp?
I'll make camp.
Okay, so you set up a camp. Uh, it doesn't take you long. Do you have rations, by the way, on your character?
Inventory. I think I have the no. Yes, I do. I have a day's worth of rations.
Okay. We'll just take that off once we're done with this.
Okay.
Because you realize you have to travel 2 days and you only have a day's worth of rations. And you probably don't want to hunt too much, so you got an idea on how to make that stretch to 2 days. But you make your camp, you eat, a little bit of your ration, um, and you settle in for the night. And as you dream, that snowscape, that blizzard from the night before comes back to you, and you are standing in the snow once again. Uh, but when this time when you're there, you hear the growling again, and you can see a canine-ish shape stalking around just beyond your field of view. Like you can only see the outline of this creature that's stalking around you. The same eye from before, watching you very closely uh, as it circles you, and now you can see. You do get an idea of its that it is now smiling, and it's a very malicious smile.
Am I able to move in this stream?
You can.
Hmm. I'm going to stand up and start walking towards it.
All right, you start approaching this creature, and it doesn't seem like you get any distance. You're definitely leaving a trail behind you as you're walking, but as you move towards this creature, even though it doesn't seem to be moving that fast, it's keeping just outside of your field of view, like just beyond the point, and uh, it just says, "There's no point." It says, "I control when you see me and when you don't, except for outside of the dream." It says, "Though I have a feeling, based on what little bit I've seen within your mind, I think we'll have fun together. And you may agree with me in the future, but we'll see." And it suddenly turns, and with a flash of light, you see teeth, and then the dream ends, and you are awake again, sitting next to the dying embers of a recent fire, and the barely just like the light barely peeking over the horizon as the sun begins to rise.
Hmm. It seems I may not be getting much sleep in the future.
There's no reply. Just silent.
Um. Hmm. Uh. Give me a second. I'm trying to think of what I should do. Um. I'm just gonna start. I guess packing up my camp.
All right, you while you're doing that, roll a perception check for me.
Perception. Jaeger. Uh. Uh. 18. 14 plus 4.
Okay. As you're packing, just about the time you finish, off the corner eye, you catch a glimpse of a figure hidden in the grass, who quickly kind of darts to one side. You don't
Mm-hmm.
hear them, though. You just barely saw them. And they dart to one side and seem to almost vanish into the grass. You didn't get a look at their face or anything. You know they are wearing what looks to be a black hood. And when you noticed them too as well, you were having trouble actually, almost like you were having trouble perceiving them,
Mm-hmm.
as if there was like, as if you had been drinking and were seeing doubles.
How far away would this be?
They would have been probably about 30 feet from you.
Can I cast a spell to do non-lethal damage?
You can try, yeah. What
I'm
spell?
gonna cast a guiding bolt.
Roll with disadvantage.
Uh, range spell attack. So okay, so it's just 17, 16.
All right, you fire this guiding bolt into the grass, and it strikes. but you don't hear anyone make a noise or anything. And it sounds like it struck dirt. There's like an explosion, a little explosion of grass and dirt that flies into the air, but that's it.
Hmm.
And then there's silence. And there's no one nearby,
I'm
or at
going to
least it
go.
seems.
I'm going to go investigate where it hit. Or did you say I already walked over and saw where it
No,
hit?
so
Or...
you saw you saw the grass and the dirt fly in the air from the strike.
I'm going to go investigate the where it struck.
Okay. Uh, roll a. I'd say roll an investigation check to see if you're looking for anything specific.
Perception.
Yeah.
Dirty
No.
20.
And well, I was gonna say, yeah, perception works if you want to do that. If you're not trying to look for something specific.
Investigation would have been 15.
Okay. Um, we'll do the perception because I don't think you know what you're looking for. You just kind of, if you were looking for something, I'll go with the perception for this one. So you go over there and you find the strike position, a little crater in the dirt. Um, around it, you don't find any footsteps. And based on what you saw of this creature, the height of it, everything else, you feel it probably should have left footsteps. And based on
Footprints.
this, yeah, footprints. And based on how fast they were moving, there should have been something left behind. There's not even grass tipped over. It doesn't look like anyone stepped on anything. It's the weirdest occurrence.
Oh, is
Uh,
that a long rest, by the way? Just
yeah, that
with
counts as a
that.
long rest.
Okay. I'm going to cast Divine Sense again.
And that senses good and evil and
And Celestial Fiends and Undead.
check something real quick. Would it be considered what kind of magic is that? Like what school of magic would that fall under? Is that just a like
It
celestial
is.
thing?
It just says Divine Sense. It doesn't give me any like anything like that.
Okay.
Here, you know the type celestial fiend or undead of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell.
Okay. You well, I guess under those rules, yeah, you don't sense anything other than the fiendish presence that is encapsulating you.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other sense that you get of anyone been around or anything else. Um, and it seems you are alone. Or at least that's what your senses are telling you.
Hmm. I'm gonna say the silence is deafening. I'm going to pick up Barris and start and continue walking towards Grand Helm.
Alright. So you're continuing on, the sun is beginning to rise not long after you begin your travel. Um, and you hear at one point, about mid-afternoon, you hear some distance away, you hear multiple roars and shouts. It's some distance away. You know you wouldn't be able to reach it if you tried. And before you even get the chance to go towards it, silence falls over that area. Some distance ahead, towards the road. To be honest, it's you could hear it probably about a mile away. There was like the faint shouts and roars of a battle happening of some sort. Um, and as you are going, you reach that site probably around like 3 in the afternoon, and you actually get onto the road. You found the road by this point, and you find on the road two. Um, oh shoot! What did I make? What did they fight last time? Uh, I know the
You're
monster.
breaking my immersion.
Yeah, I know, and I had the monster in my head, and now it's gone. It was a shit. I know what it was. It was a challenge rating 3. Give me a moment. Because I'm losing my mind trying to remember what this was. I know the creature. And it really makes me upset that I forgot what they fought. No, it wasn't that. It was. Yeah. You find two manticores. They both look to have been skinned and picked off of. The only thing left, it looks to be whatever organs are within it still, and the now slowly rotting meat because it's been exposed to the sun for multiple hours. Uh, but the fight looks fresh, and you can see cart tracks through the dirt. You see the tracks of someone running off into the grass and disappearing. But other than that, that's all you see. There's no one around. It's just this manticore, or these two manticores that are dead.
I'm gonna follow the tracks of the person running off into the grass.
All right, you begin to head out there. Roll a perception check for me to see what you can see.
Oh shit. Dirty 20.
All right, you're walking out there, and you follow these tracks pretty easily. And when you get to a clearing, you find the footsteps seem to end and hoof prints begin. And there's two sets of them, one coming from one side, one coming from the other, and then it looks like both sets depart in the same direction, towards Grand Helm to be exact.
Gotcha.
The and as you're looking over this, you're like looking down, like getting down, crouching down, like touching the tracks, trying to figure out like who's been around. You hear something shuffling not too far away from you before you hear a click of a beak. And you turn and find a griffin standing behind you, eyeing you as prey before it lets out a screech and begins to charge you. Roll initiative. Wanted to have at least one encounter in this short session.
Right.
Had to have something, make it interesting.
All right, Tyler, you might not like me for this. Instead of rolling initiative, can I roll animal handling to calm it down?
Roll initiative, and then on your turn you can try.
Fuck. 8.
Okay. Roll that animal handling check, see if you can do something.
Damn, that fucker scored some low ass initiative.
I rolled a 1.
Oh. Dirty 20.
All right. And I
18
did think you were gonna try this. So
I'm sorry, 21. 19 plus 2.
Yeah,
I can't read.
I did think you were going to try this, so I was planned for this, and I do have scores set for certain actions. All right. It almost seems it doesn't like stop in its tracks. It hesitates a little bit as it approaches you, as you are kind of like throwing your hands up and like trying to like calm it down. What are you saying to it?
I'm, hushing it, saying I am not your enemy. And with my right hand, I'm motioning for Barris to go and find his way onto it.
Okay. It, for its turn, hesitating just a little bit, is going to try to bite you.
Okay.
And it goes to strike with its beak. That is a 24 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
All right. You take 8 points of piercing. And it's going to slash at you with one of its claws. 20?
20?
Yeah, 20. As in,
To
like,
hit?
20 to hit, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I didn't do that.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
And that is 14 points of damage. Slashing.
God damn, bro.
I have a plan with this. I know what I'm doing. So what are you at right now? I'm trying to remember how much.
9.
You're at 9 health? Okay.
Yeah.
So upon this happening, upon you losing these 22 points of damage, was it? Yes.
Yeah.
Upon this happening, you hear that voice from earlier, and it says, "This should be enough." As the blood that has fallen from your body from these strikes begins to move
Oh
and
shit.
change.
Oh fuck.
And as it is doing so, you see the same form you saw in your dream form about 5 feet from you on your right. And before you stands what looks to be a hound of some sort, made entirely of your blood. And it glances back at you with that same wicked smile and a long, pointed tongue. Uh, Looking very, very excited to have been brought forth. And because this has happened, I'm going to quickly go into your inventory and I'm going to add something because you are going to have an understanding of what just occurred. Um, you that rune also on your hand begins to glow when this creature appears,
Okay.
and he says, as he turns to you, he says, "You look like you're in a bind. I can help." And it turns towards the griffin, who looks at it confused, and it dives for the griffin, jaws open, ready to strike. And that is. Let me just start moving shit around so I can actually like have multiple screens up. And it strikes the griffin with its jaws for 7 points of piercing damage. And you see as this blood leaks from this griffin's arm as it bites into its arm. You see the blood seem to siphon into this bloodhound or this creature. You just you don't know what it's called, but like this bloody creature. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems to be siphoning up the blood, uh, pulling in health as it seems. It is now the it's now your turn.
Um, is the griffin still alive?
The griffin is alive.
Can
It's
I
alive
roll
and
like a?
kicking.
Can I roll at nature to see? Or you know what? I'm gonna roll a wisdom saving throw to have the creature go away.
Okay.
Because this is definitely gonna go the way that I think it is, and there's no way this could ever go wrong. Um, what am I? What's the Oh, it's wisdom. Okay,
Yeah.
so 17.
Okay. You kind of think this thought about this creature and you try to will it away and it looks at you and it snarls and it says, "Why? Why?" before it seems to almost lose form and its body's kind of slops down into a pool of blood.
All
Uh
right. Uh, okay.
I'll let that be a bonus action if you want to still do something.
Thank you, because I would have been shit on if that wasn't a bonus action. Um, where is Barris at this point? Is he made it to
Barris would probably be near it. He wouldn't be on it yet. He would be near it because it
Got
was
you.
kind of flailing about when it got bit.
Um, so wait, lay on hands. Can I use that on me?
What does lay on hands do? Oh, that's
You
the
have
healing.
full.
Yeah, yeah, you can heal
Yeah,
yourself. That would be your action to heal yourself. But
right. And okay, how close am I to the creature?
the griffin got pushed back about 5 feet, so it's about 10 feet from you.
Okay, so all right. Well, I'm gonna use my lay on hands to heal myself.
Okay.
Um, is that a cantrip or is it a Right, whatever.
It counts as an action to use it. It's the equivalent of using like healing word or healing touch.
So I can just take the full 15 points.
Yeah, it's one of those paladins are special because they can heal a lot more points than other people. Yeah, it says in it as an action you can touch a creature to restore any number of HP remaining in the pool, or 5 points to
Gotcha.
cure disease or neutralize poison in a creature.
Okay, and then for my movement, I'm going to move back 30 feet from the creature.
All right, so you move backwards. Oh, I need to add Barris to the initiative. Roll an initiative roll for Barris, just because he
Oh
only really
shit!
has one
What's
thing.
his modifiers? Extra Varus. Uh, you're gonna like this. He rolled a 1.
Okay. Bloodhound's out of the mix. Okay.
I'm guessing you weren't seeing that coming like immediately.
I I'm debating if I should have given you it immediately or not, but it's fine because you would have realized it like upon. I feel a lot of the runes that have been thrown into place so far. You guys have instantly known what they do the moment you've gotten them, or they've gone active. Yours has been passive until now. So the
Right.
moment it became active is when you would have been able to figure out what it does, uh, pretty much just by some sort of instinctual use. Um, and with that, the Griffin stands there for a moment, a little confused by everything. Real quick. Roll a roll a persuasion check for me.
What number is that? I can't see. 19.
Okay, it does not attack. It kind of shifts to the left a little bit, not realizing where Barris is, and it kind of walks away from him a little bit. And it investigates the pool of blood for just a moment, before kind of walking an arch in this clearing
Mm-hmm.
and just eyeing you. And it gets about 20 feet from you, and it's about 15 feet from Barris. I
All
think that
right.
math works. I think that math works.
It probably does. We'll say it does. Bears can move 20 feet a turn, by the way.
Okay.
Um, which is actually fast as fuck for something so small. All I can imagine is him just fucking rolling.
Let's roll out.
Yeah, it's like Kirby or like is it Kirby? No, it's Jigglypuff.
Yep, Jigglypuff just rolling out.
Um, is it back to me?
Yes, it is now your action.
I'm gonna roll animal handling again
All right.
as I move towards it slowly. 24, not 20.
The heck, bro? These rolls are ridiculous.
Dude, I don't know. Like I straight up don't know.
As
I'm
you
telling
approach
you,
it's like
it's the
approaching a
dice.
horse for you.
Okay.
It kind of sits there and it very closely eyes you over, and as you get closer, it multiple times clicks its beak at you and kind of takes a step back, kind of trying to ward you off, not to get any closer to it. And as you get about 10 feet from it, it lets out another aggressive squawk, and it just kind of stands there, still eyeing you very closely. But
Okay.
it does not attack on its turn.
I was gonna be like, I'm gonna roll insight to see if I can find a way to calm it down, but then I realized, a fucking wolf of blood just came out of me, so
Well, it's just kind of
um
eyeing you, like it's kind of sizing you up and trying to determine what to make of this situation. Because
um
griffins are very smart creatures. It's trying to figure out why this has happened.
if I'm a or it okay. Because I'm guessing you understand where I'm trying to go with this.
Yeah, you're trying to use it to get to the city.
Yeah, and have another griffin in another one of your campaigns. Um, because that always works out very well.
I will tell you, and your character would know this. You know you wouldn't be able to tame technically this creature. You may be able to tame it for a short time, but it won't stick around.
Gotcha.
Because you would know that you often, with creatures like griffins and dragons and stuff like that, you often have to raise them from birth.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Hmm. I'm going to I guess roll animal handling again, see if I can calm it down some more or persuasion maybe.
I would do animal handling because it is an animal.
Okay.
Persuasion was just in your action, and that's something I just asked you to do randomly because it was trying to kind of do an insight against you
Uh-huh.
to figure out intentions and stuff like that, and then whether it should attack or not.
Gotcha. 17.
Okay. After and we'll say by this point you're out of combat. It takes you several minutes to get this thing to let you get close enough. Um, and when you do, it's calm. It's very weary of you though, because it doesn't know what to make of the things it has witnessed, such as the blood becoming a canine, and
Becoming a
then
fucking monster out of
yeah,
nowhere.
and then dropping into a pool of itself, and then watching you also recover from damage taken during the fight.
Gotcha.
But it is now standing before you, calm enough to not uh, attack you, but it's also a decent amount untrusting of you.
Uh, hmm. Would I have any of like the bread left from where I was feeding Barris and the other like
I would say you have your rations, what's left of them,
right.
and that would probably consist of like jerkies and dried bread, stuff like that.
I'll give him some jerky.
All right, so roll an animal handling check with this just to see how it responds.
12.
Okay, it hesitates. It takes a minute, and it does. It's not gentle by any means when it takes this jerky from you. It is very
Mhm.
actually quick, and it's almost aggressive, and it actually pricks you a little bit. Not enough to do damage, but it does draw a tiny bit of blood when it
Gotcha.
takes the jerky, and it scarfs it down really quickly, and then uh, continues to eye you over for a moment
Does it have any
before.
wounds?
Huh?
Does it have any wounds?
The bite wound on its leg, which would it's not anything bad. This creature definitely could take a lot more of these, but it's a little it's just where the bite was. It's not bleeding because any blood that had come from it was siphoned out. It's just a
Mhm.
little like toothy gash in its arm.
All right, I'm gonna use my ring of life giving to heal it.
Okay, and if I'm remembering correctly, you have to roll a check with that. Yeah, roll a con save
Uh,
for me. And how
Roll
much
con
hit points
save.
are you giving up?
Huh?
You roll a con save, and you have to give up so many hit points.
Okay. How? I guess 10,
Okay, and
or
roll your
maybe 6. We'll go with 6.
okay, and then roll your con save to determine if it's you give it all the health that you gave up or half of it.
Con. 11.
All right, you feel a bit of your life force drain out of you from this ring. The 6 points that you said you'd give up, and you see the wound heal up a little bit. It's no longer open, but it is definitely still like a wound that has to heal a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's more of like a cut now instead of a gash.
Gotcha.
Uh, and this griffin kind of looks at you for a moment, and now roll another animal handling, but use with advantage.
Oh, pog. Okay. 21. My first
Okay.
roll was 8.
Upon you healing this wound for it just a little bit, it kind of shakes its head a little bit, like similar like what a horse would do,
Mhm.
ruffling its feathers a little bit. Uh, and then it walks around you for just a moment, like looking you up and down, uh, before finally kind of moving its head in a way, almost offering its head to you as if you wanted to pet it. And it lets out a little, very tiny little kind of not squawk, but like little noises, like chirps.
Gotcha. I guess I'll pet it.
All right, you pet this griffin, and it kind of pushes
Pog,
in.
I pet the dog. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Mission complete. Now,
Mission complete.
it lets you pet it for a moment, kind of pushing into your hand as if it is almost enjoying it, before it kind of pulls back and it sits down before you, and it seems to be waiting. Now, it's just kind of staring at you.
Okay. Okay. Um. All right. So I know griffins are able to understand certain speech. Would it be able to understand common?
So on their actual block, they don't have any, but
Or is
I
that your
that was
world?
my game. They could speak
Fuck.
because they're hyper intelligent in my game. They're almost technically sentient. This one they don't have language, but if you speak to it and roll the right animal handlings, it would be able to understand you to a degree. It's like talking to a dog.
Would Barris be able to communicate with it?
What can Barris? Let me look at Barris real quick.
I mean, he's basically a beholder,
Yeah. Um, I
but
think
just
I think
adorable.
if he helped you,
Uh-huh.
you can get your point across, and I would give you advantage on all your checks.
Gotcha. All right, I'll do that then.
Okay. So tell me what you're saying to it while you roll your wisdom check, or not wisdom, animal handling, which is
Um,
wisdom.
I'm looking for a companion for a short time. Would you be willing to abide or oblige?
And roll your check.
Big money, no whammies. 20. No, dirty 20.
Okay. It kind of cocks its head to one side a little bit. Lets out a few chirps. You're not exactly sure what how it's trying to respond. You're getting though that it seems to be willing to help you in a way, but you don't know how extensive that will be or anything else.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm going to point in the direction of Grand Helm, and then point at the griffin, then at me, and then like flap my arms like wings.
Just picturing a like 8-foot Goliath doing this. All right, roll your animal handling again. Same thing with advantage.
10, 13.
Okay. It takes you a moment. You do this like once or twice, and then it seems to almost nod. You're not sure if it would understand what a nod is, but it almost seems to nod, and it gives you a few chirps before almost not quite dropping prone, but kind of kneeling down as if to allow you to get on its back.
All right. I guess I'll get on its back.
All right, you get onto its back, kind of getting settled, and it stands back up, and uh, right as you're getting comfortable, it takes off
Gotcha.
and it flies towards the city, which cuts off a few hours of the traveling. Um, and you arrive at the city it's probably about 5 o'clock. This was like a 2 hour flight.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get a movie or popcorn or anything. Just this
Oh,
flight.
fuck.
Um, not first
Just two
class.
hours of wind in my eyes.
Yes. And you arrive. It lands probably about 500 feet from the city. Before crouching again, as if to tell you to, climb off.
Gotcha.
Um, which you're doing probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you climb off its back, and it turns to you, and almost once again giving you a nod. You're not quite sure if it understands what a nod is, but it almost nods to you and gives you a few chirps before turning back towards the grassland and taking off.
Gotcha.
And now you are on the edge of Grandhelm.
Uh, after it leaves, I'm gonna whisper to myself, almost basically talking to the voice, and saying, "Real power does not come from others, but comes from what you can do for yourself.
And
If you want to help me, you must prove yourself to me."
there's a small growl in the back of your mind. Uh, before you hear very wait, what languages do you speak? Let me check. Okay, no.
Common, giant.
You hear this very deep and I guess you probably have it's like deep and hellish language for several seconds before the voice falls silent in your head. You get a sense though it is not happy.
I'll say, "Speak to me in whatever way you want or however you want. I will not travel with weakness if you so be it."
There's no response.
I'm going to walk towards Grand Helm to see if I can find my party members or my party mates.
Okay. You enter the city. Um, and as you're traveling down, roll a perception check for me, just to see how much of the city you take in as you're walking.
1.
You don't see shit. You're
I
in
just
awe. You're in awe
I
by
walk
this castle before you.
I walk past the village.
Yeah, you walked through it. You didn't even know you were there. No, this is a grand city. Like you are in awe by some of the. You don't notice any of like the kind of people that are around. You just notice the magnitude of some of the like the structures. You see this giant castle uh, in the center of the city. That the way it's like you've seen many very powerful structures in your time in Sarthstag. Look.
Mhm.
But you've not seen they show they're strong, powerful structures, hard to get in. To why this one is both showing its military power and almost beauty as it is built with reinforced metals and stones, but it also has places of gold or polish that make it seem to shine and show like a luxurious look to it, while also showing power, which is what you have heard this city is known for, but you have never actually visited the city itself. You passed it in your travels. You didn't pay much attention to it when you were traveling north to Morian Bay, but you have heard stories of it. Um, and as you're walking, let's see. Yeah, you get a sense that this is a very magical place too. As you get closer and closer to the market, which seems to be the central hub of the entire city, uh, you notice that there are many wizards and clerics, a couple druids, other magic users of different types, walking around. Some even using magic on the street, either to entertain or it just to emphasize something in a simple conversation, stuff like that. This place has a lot of magic that is happening.
Gotcha.
And as you're nearing uh, the market, you hear uh, what sounds to be combat of some sort happening on the opposite side of the market as you get to it. Um, and as you're moving across the market towards this combat, it stops. And you see several guards rush back there uh, into an alleyway, which these guards are a mixture. There's the one taking point you notice looks to be a wizard of sorts with a paladin and a fighter running right behind him. Uh, and as you reach this alleyway, uh, it takes you a couple minutes to actually get over there, but you see some distance away, you see this happen. But as you get there, you see these guards. There's you see down this alleyway, one of the guards is cleaning up a decapitated body,
Mhm.
and the other there's another one uh, messing with a cart filled with cages of animals, and you see your party members all standing in this alleyway, this large clearing in the back of the alleyway, speaking to one another. Roll perception again.
14.
Okay.
Sorry,
Um,
16. Or wait, where's my 18? There we go.
so you while you were looking through this too, you see uh you see that Calder and I want to say it was Jotun are looking at a wall that has some sort of message written across it in a language you've seen these letters, but you don't know what they are. And with them, Trinket seems to be telling them something uh, before she turns and sees you and looks confused.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, am I still covered in blood?
no, it's been 2 days.
Okay.
You probably have your own a little bit of your own blood, but
Pog.
you don't look too bad. But you're standing there. She looks at you, looks a little confused. Uh, before the other she begins to walk towards you, and that's what we'll end this session.
Huh. Cool.
Quick, short, easy. Cleared up some things. Told you about your rune, which you don't know everything about that yet. There's more information about those runes and stuff that you haven't learned yet. But in the
Sure. I'm just
next,
saying, you better not have taken the whole Sarvoth thing away from me. So I'm gonna be kind of mad if you did.
I will not confirm nor deny anything that is any theories that you have on what is
Bro, I'm
happening.
just saying, I was like gonna be a whole point for my character, but okay.
Remember what I said before about your god, and think of that way.
I also said that the dice tend to favor. specs for some
Yes,
reason.
and I am playing with some things right now, which I will not confirm nor deny what they are doing, but I am playing with a few mechanics of my own in this. Um,
Got
with that though, because you succeeded in that wisdom thing, I'm gonna give you also take a mind token. So in your
mind
notes,
token.
yeah, put a one next to your mind, and you can you remember how those tokens work, right?
No.
So the tokens you for your mind arts for mind you get it. You can give yourself advantage in a mental challenge. So anything wisdom or intelligence, you can give yourself advantage.
Got you.
But you have one token to spend. On that note, we will be having our next session Thursday, 7:30. We may or may not be splitting the party. I'm still debating on that. I think we are losing two party members with this as well. So we may be splitting into two groups of three, or maybe keeping uh, everyone together depending on how next session goes. But on that note, we hope to see you there. And yeah, if you haven't followed us already, give us a follow. We really appreciate it. If you haven't seen the previous sessions, you can go check them out on YouTube. I think link in down below on the Twitch thing, and link will be in the YouTube descriptions as well. As always, we hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.